All right. It's Power Hour time. Happy Tuesday. How's everyone doing? We're live on YouTube. There are dozens of people listening and watching. Dozens. Handfuls. Stock of the day, MicroStrategy. Not because it's a Ponzi scheme, but because some crazy person on Reddit is selling naked calls. Speaking of being naked, how's everyone doing? How's your Tuesday? I just realized I still have coffee. Joby. Joby's a big mover because they're being featured in a video game. Sorry, a flight simulator. It's more than a game. So SPY is up 0.24%. Dow is down 0.4%. NASDAQ is up 0.5%. Russell is up 0.34%. VIX futures are up 3.5%. Interesting. Treasuries are up. Long terms doing quite well today. Yes. I wonder if they feel that they've hit a nice bottom. For now. Gold is up 0.76%. Crude is up 0.3%. Bitcoin's up 1.9%. Asian markets, let's see, those look, yeah, those are up, or they were up, about 0.7% each. And the dollar is mostly flat. Yeah, letting off some steam off of that crazy rally, at least crazy rally for the dollar. Let's bring up the Flex grid. All right. Joby is a flight simulator. Yeah, this is very true. I mean, can you simulate flying the vehicles by buying the shares? You know, that'd be great if they made a deal and they said if you're an investor, you get the flight simulator with a discount. Didn't Ford offer a discount on their vehicles if you own so many shares or something? Joby should do something like that. Will Coinbase follow MicroStrategy? Seems to, or am I just dotarded? Let's see. MicroStrategy. They are up 11.5% today. Rip to the guy that's selling naked calls. Coinbase is down 1.25%. Listen, this is Bitcoin is up 1.9%. MicroStrategy is up how much? 11.3. This is a bit of mania. I know anybody could look at MicroStrategy at any point in time and just say, yeah, it's probably going to go up, but an 11.5% move on less than a 2% move on Bitcoin does not make any sense. It is not a 20 times leveraged Bitcoin product, even though it at times trades like that. And for those who don't know, MicroStrategy is quite literally a Ponzi scheme. But yeah, if you're in it, congrats on your gains. All it would take for this entire company to crumble is just a little bit of a push. So yeah, it's trading at a stark premium to Bitcoin. I think calls on Bitcoin ETFs are lower risk. If you subscribe to Premium, you will have access to everything that's come out this past month. I'm still going to release and Premium for YouTube people. That's in the Discord server. You don't have to pay for anything. But if you want the premium content, then that's going to cost a bit of money. But otherwise, you have access to 90% of the server. We'll call it 80% of the server, give or take 50%. But yeah, if you subscribe to premium, you get everything that I released this past month, or this month rather, and doing another talk next Tuesday, so in a week. And that talk, you'll have access to that talk too. And that's going to be the first part of a 3-month-long report on renewable energy. And the first talk is going to focus on nuclear power. So that one, I dare say, it's pretty interesting. I found a lot of things, all the research I've done. There are a lot of moving parts it's not just nuclear power. I know nuclear power is like the front man right now in renewable energy, but everybody's involved, and it's pretty interesting. So I've actually had a decent amount of, I've enjoyed looking into nuclear power and this whole trend. So the fact that I've been so interested in it, I'm doing nonstop research, like far more work than I should, but it's been pretty interesting. So yeah, that talk will be Tuesday for premium members. So yeah, and then if you're curious if the content's worth it, just ask people. Just ask others. Don't take my word for it. However, I will say that the content for this month, that's for this month only. There will be news updates going forward, probably at the end of this month, and so. I think overall the changes would be for the best. Ben's portfolio is up 0.25%. Are you beating the SPY? You're beating the SPY. The SPY's only up 0.2%. Good job. Oh, and by the way, these market talks, they're all posted live. The ones that I'm doing Monday, Friday, and then this one, we're live on YouTube right now. So for all the, the 3 people listening to YouTube. Coin calls. Man, coin already had this massive move. Isn't it up like 60% over the past 2 weeks? What chart are you guys looking at? I'm just curious. Look at this move. It was at 176. Now it's at 322. I am trading crypto, but I am being very picky with my trades. Oh, yeah. I remember Kramer liked Coinbase to 475. What are we at? It hit a high of about 335. Did it ever hit 475? I don't think so, right? Yeah, not even 430. So we're still waiting on Kramer's price target. And still trying to figure out how long it's going to take people to realize that price targets are arbitrary and they don't mean anything. And MicroStrategy, what was up? Did you say 150% in 2 months? Yeah, it looks like it. Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to correct. So, ish. Yeah, 250-ish. Yeah. So the Reddit people, Theta Gang. Let's talk about Theta Gang. So those guys, let's have a look at MicroStrategy. So I am trading it, but I'm trying to be a lot wiser than the Theta Gang guys. So I believe that guy's selling January 760 calls. He's short January 760 calls, and then he opened with a slight hedge. So here's the thing, and I have spreads on this. So I went for the 750s because I noted that they are juicy, but I'm not doing what Data Gang Man is doing. So I'm in a far better position than he is in terms of risk. It's just way too much risk, and it's way too much buying power margin. It would help if that guy said what percentage of his portfolio is in this play, but I guess he doesn't want to reveal to people he has a lot of money, even though he's saying, this is how much money I put on one trade, whatever. So selling these puts, selling these calls right here, you're going to get about $4,300 per, but the buying power is going to be pretty high. And actually he started selling, I think the stock price was maybe at like 360, something like that. So he started selling them a while back, and they've gone up probably about 33% in value since he got in. And at some point, if MicroStrategy keeps going up, he's going to really start to feel the pain. And he does risk the chance of being margin called. Let's say he's got a good amount of money. And I think overall the buying power on this trade is probably $250,000 at this point. I think I saw he had something like 1,700 shares, and he was short 85 calls, which is insane risk. Unless you're managing a massive fund or you're a market maker. So let's say it keeps going up. Buying power requirement, it's going to keep going up as well. So right now, let's just see what would happen if I tried to short 100 shares. Buying power requirement is 100. Let's see, 360K. Is that right? It's got to be less than that. So it's probably 2 times. Let's call it 2 times. If it keeps going like this, it's probably they're gonna change it to 3 times margin requirement, which they've done in the past for stocks like AMC, GameStop. So once that starts to happen, you're gonna have some short covering, and there's a chance that the stock continues to squeeze. Now here's the thing: people saying he's selling the 760s, right? And we're way, not even close to 760. Never mind that there is still a chance that MicroStrategy could definitely go towards 760. But if the position becomes too large in terms of margin requirement and buying power requirement, he's going to get margin called, and he's screwed. And when you get margin called, you don't get to decide what price or how, just give me another week or whatever. You will be kicked out of the trade, and you will sustain heavy losses. That's it. Period. There's no way around it. It doesn't matter if you still had a lot of premium left or you had time, whatever. It does not matter. Your broker is kicking you out of the trade, and you're taking the L. And in his case, the L is probably going to cost him a couple $100,000 if this happens, right? So the broker will save him from completely blowing up, or he'll have to cover himself, right? So there's a tremendous amount of risk. Nobody wants to lose a couple $100,000, right? No idea what size his portfolio is, but at any rate, a couple $100,000 is a pretty hefty loss for anyone. So that's one side of the risk, right? Maybe it doesn't go up to 760, but it doesn't have to. It just has to keep going at this rate in order for him to get margin called. Now, here's the way I see it. That's pretty big risk, but you got a lot of risk to the downside as well. Volatility is really high. Implied volatility rank is near its 1-year high. Let's check 5-year one day. So I guess the only time it was higher was this COVID. Oh no, this is the whole FTX thing. So let's look at FTX. That was 2022. MicroStrategy had a recent high at that point in time of 52. We'll call it 52. And then it crashed, hit a low of 1340. So that's about an 80% decrease in the stock price. About 78%, something like that. That's a massive drop. Of course, that was when the crypto markets were crashing because of FTX and everybody's freaking out. So let's compare that to Bitcoin. Let's see what Bitcoin did during that time period. 2022, where are we at? So that was about May. So Bitcoin we'll call it 19K was the low, and it was at 50. We'll call it about 58,000. So about a 60% drop, maybe a little bit more. So MicroStrategy fell 80% on about a 60% drop in Bitcoin. Let's say Bitcoin has another drop and it goes down 30%. What does MicroStrategy do at this point? Maybe it goes down 50%, because of the leverage, the implied leverage in the stock. So if this stock drops 50%, he's losing a lot of money on the shares that he had to buy to hedge. If there's a bigger crash and the shares they just fall 80%, 90%, something like that, it's a black swan. Well, frankly, I wouldn't say you need a black swan risk to materialize for crypto to crash, but let's say crypto crashes, because anything can cause that to happen. He's losing a lot of money on the shares, and he's got 1,700 shares right now. So he has a lot of risk to the upside and the downside. I think that's the big concern there. And if you look at the chart, MicroStrategy, they were at 300, below 300 just a week and a half ago. So to say that it's just going to wipe out that move in another week and a half, yeah, that wouldn't be that surprising. So even if the position isn't that big of a position in his portfolio, it's still a dumb trade to make. A very dumb trade. And then to market it on Reddit and say, look at me, look at the trade I made. Oh, I know a lot of people are judging me. They're making fun of me, but you don't understand how smart of a trade this is. It makes him look like a moron and an amateur. So no professional trader would go on Reddit and say, look at this high-risk trade. I'm smart, and you guys don't get it. So it will be interesting to see what happens. Because I would very much like him to follow up. To be honest, I mean, the probabilities of MicroStrategy staying where it's at for a decent amount of time for him to actually make good money on this trade, give it like 20, 30 days, at least, enough time for an IV crush to happen. Yeah, where is MicroStrategy going to be in 20 or 30 days? Let's see. 17 days out, we got plus or minus $130. And 30 days out, we got plus or minus $175. And MicroStrategy tends to move more than anticipated. I mean, it moved up, let's see, below 300 in a week and a half. It moved up about 160. Yeah. Sorry, not 160. Is that 160? Yeah. Okay, 160 in a week and a half. Now, if we look at a week and a half, the expected move is 98, 99. So not sure if these expected moves, at least what the markets are pricing in for MicroStrategy, not sure how accurate these expected moves are. And I'm willing to bet that the markets tend to be quite wrong on these expected moves. So, yeah, he is at some point, since we started the stream, I think it's gone up, solid another $15. So, I'm curious how he's doing now. He does have the hedge on, but, let's see. Let's look at those 760 calls. Now they're worth about $46. Or if he wants to close out, he's gonna have to pay about $4,600 to close those out. So, yeah. I think he started off with a really small hedge. He sold, I don't know how many calls starting off. I don't know if he started off selling 85 calls and he only hedged with 600 shares. And by the way, you need 8,500 for it to be fully hedged, or say like a buy right. But 600 shares for that much risk, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Through January too. Does MicroStrategy even make software, whatever, anymore? Is it just a holding company, a hodling company? They have some software. I have no idea who uses it. Like, I have zero clue. I don't even know if it's important to the business. Just, like, no idea. what is the upside of going for MicroStrategy if you can just directly put your money in Bitcoin? You're literally just hoping that it moves higher than Bitcoin. But to me, it's like a random number generator. You know, Bitcoin has had updates where MicroStrategy went down, and I'm putting money on the idea that MicroStrategy is going to revert down, or at least it's going to go down further than Bitcoin. It's going to underperform Bitcoin rather. So I'm curious if there's good data on maybe like lag between Bitcoin and MicroStrategy, or say when MicroStrategy has had a big move and it's far greater than the move on Bitcoin on the underlying, does it tend to pull back? I'm just using a bit of logic, intuition to say that it is going to do that, but I don't have the hard data on that. So I guess you're just hoping it moves more. But I think if you're getting in now, you're kind of gambling on top of the gamble. Like people who gamble on this, they hit big, and when you hit big, you like to cash out, right? So that's typically not the time to put your bets on the table. Plus, again, this MicroStrategy, it's to me, it's house of cards, or it's going to tumble at some point. I would hate to be in when that point happens, and this thing could fall for any reason. You sell puts on Soxel because you're smart and we don't get it. Yeah, Soxel. Ask the long-term put sellers on Soxel how that tends to go. Or try selling puts through this drop. Yeah, imagine you watch Soxel go up to 70 and then it dropped to 50 and you said that's a massive drop, it's going to correct, and then it went down to 23.50. Oh man. Yeah, bag holding the leverage ETF is not fun. As opposed to, let's look at SMH. Look at that. SMH has been up in the time that Soxel has been, can I even say flat? Down slightly. I thought they made a ton of money buying and selling internet domains during the .com bubble. Yeah, maybe. MicroStrategy. I honestly can't remember. Which is not the most honorable business. But yeah. Some people buy things from Salvation Army and then flip them on Etsy for a markup or eBay. So, what I'm saying is now is a much better time to sell those naked calls. How do you get approval for that? First, see your psychiatrist. Man, this thing is on a tear. Yeah. Honestly, you could just sell. You could do sell call spreads. You could do diagonals, calendars, anything. Limited risk. Anything is better than just selling naked calls on this thing. It's not a problem until it is, and then when it is a problem, it's a massive problem. That's the issue. You keep selling extremely wide strangles on Soxel. I was selling strangles on SMH back in, when was it? Before you guys were born. Let's see. I'm trying to think. Was it 22? No, I don't think it was 22. I think it was 2018 or 19. Let me zoom out. Let's see. Yeah, it was 18, and SMH was just it was just range bound, like doomed to be range bound almost the whole year. That was a great time to sell strangles on it. And then the party ended, and then it just started going up. Year to date, SMH is up 47%. Soxel is up 6%. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how many people, semi-professional traders, professional traders, they just mention it nonstop. The leverage ETFs are no good. And every day somebody posts on Reddit or whatever. It's a gamble. If you like gambling, then okay, go for it. But you're not going to get compensated well, just like a gamble at a casino. Yeah, and the whole selling puts. Yeah, let's just hope you don't have a market correction. What did Soxel do during August? Let's see. It went from we had a recent high of what is this? 44.76. I bet you're looking at that big drop back in July and saying, okay, probably a good time to start selling puts on Soxel because it can't keep dropping like this. And then first week of August, it dropped. Oh man, like 40%. And then imagine you try to roll those, and it took you 2 months maybe to get out because you're making pennies each week. And that was just a 10% correction in the markets. Imagine a real crash. What happens to the Soxel if the S&P drops 20% or 30%? Yeah, let's see. 2022. Let's have a look. So 2022, Soxel had a recent high of about 74, and then looks like the low was about here, and that is $6.21. Yeah, good luck if you're selling puts through a bear market or a crash. Yeah, I think that's all it takes for anyone to say I'm never selling puts on Soxel ever again. So if you're selling puts on Soxel, I feel like you've never actually been through a real market crash or a bear market, or you've never done it through a bear market. You've only done it in bull markets or sideways markets. And even that 10% correction, the Soxel fell 40%. Yeah. If you were selling puts through that had to hurt. Oh yeah, if you're selling the dip, then okay, then you might actually be. I don't even know if I can say fairly compensated, better compensated for the risk that you're taking. But I wonder how much were Nvidia puts selling for on that dip. Nvidia, they had already done their split, right? Yeah, because I remember Nvidia. Yeah, I remember buying them low 90s. I did take that game pretty quickly, but yeah, I wonder how much Nvidia puts were going for at that point. And that was a drop of, let's see, recent high of 136, and then a low during that first week of August of $90.69. Nice. Yeah, that's a pretty good drop. Nice little correction for Nvidia. Would have been a great time to sell puts or pick up shares, whatever. I mean, if you catch the falling knife, then yeah, you get to say, in hindsight, I made a lot of money. But if not, then you say it really sucks. I don't want to do that again. Let's see. S&P's up 0.27%. And I got all the big eight, the great eight. Can we call them the great eight? Apple, Amazon, Broadcom, Google, Meta, Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla. I think people were ready to write off Tesla earlier this year because they were a poo-poo stock. But then Elon became best friends with Trump, and Trump won the election, so now Tesla's been doing well. No real, fundamental change in the company, but, that's why it went up 60% in a month. Or 2 weeks, whatever it was. Yesterday, I saw some decent dispersion between all of these stocks. Never mind Tesla. We'll just stick to the Mag 7, I guess. But yeah, there was a good amount of dispersion between them, which is uncommon these days. And then this morning, probably the first 2 hours of the trading day, they were all moving together. So kind of interesting to watch. I like to try to trade that dispersion or catch whichever stock is down versus the other stocks. So this morning I saw Microsoft, and that looked like a decent play. I think it was Microsoft. Pretty sure. Yeah, I got into some spreads. And I'm up, let's see, about 30% on those. Let's see. Stocks got down under $5. I think it was $6, something like $6. I mean, I'm sure it's been $5 before, but several years ago. Let's see. Soxel. What are the odds? Let's look at the probabilities. Let's say you're selling weekly puts. And let's say 25, you got a 72% chance that those expire worthless. And you're getting paid about $63 for that. But if it really moves, then you're taking on $2,437 of risk. And if it moves, yeah, it's moving a lot. It's probably going in the low 20s. Like if you have like a 5% drop in the markets, I bet this is going in the low 20s. Snowflake. That's not a racial term. That's a stock. Let's see. Snowflake. I was one of the 2021 IPO darlings, one of the unicorns. Hit a high of 238 and went down to 107 this year. I know they have massive stock-based comp. They were priced to perfection. But it looks like they finally started breaking that trend. But then again, way I always see it, pick a stock that is either small cap, high growth, whatever, controversial. Look at the performance over the past 2 months and then compare them to all the other stocks like that. And chances are you didn't really pick a good stock. You weren't right on the stock. You just happened to be right on the markets falling in love with small caps or going risk on again. I suppose you could have just bought the Russell. Yeah, the Russell did pretty well over that time period. About a 20% move. Or Bitcoin. Yeah, you could have done Bitcoin. And hope it doesn't crash. Yeah, what is that? Like an 85% move up? That's outrageous. Yeah, he could have done gold. What's gold at? Oh, that's not gold. Is this thing going to work? Let's see. September to now, gold was at 2520 futures, and then went up to 2800. Yeah, even gold had a good move. It's come back down now. I know there's plenty of appetite to buy the dip in gold. Yeah, hit a low of about 2560, 2550. How's the SPY looking? Still up 2.25%. Apple's moving down. What are the big movers? Big movers for today. SMCI is up 31% on hopes and dreams. So they're late. They were late to file the appeal to not be delisted. They're filing the appeal. So and now BDO, which is, by the way, that's like a discount auditing firm. BDO is now their auditor. And they still, who knows how long it's going to take them to announce results. So in the meantime, investors, at least the past day or so, investors are coming back to take risk on the stock. But what's the chance that customers will take risk on SMCI's business and their numbers? So, yeah, I don't think SMCI's out of the woods yet. And I wouldn't be surprised if it gave up at least half of the gains it has today tomorrow. Fraud is fraud. If the auditors don't trust the numbers, neither should you. VRT, that thing's just going vertical. Looks like it's a bit pinned at 140. I guess market makers were long Gamma, so now they're selling shares. Interesting. JP Morgan maintains overweight, raised price target to 132. What else we got? Sim, is that Symbotic? Yeah, that was a stock accidentally made money on. So they posted earnings. They still have a lot of dilution risk, don't they? It's something like 4 times the amount of available shares that could still be sold on the market. I think in the past when it had big moves up, it would tend to give up the gains over the next few weeks maybe. Yeah, look at this big earnings move. When was this? July 2023. Massive move up. Gave up all the gains within a month. Let's see. November 2023. Massive move up. Gave up all the gains. Give it about 2 months. About 2 months. and then you had a big move down. Let's see. What about in the interim? Bit of a move down there. Earnings April of this year. Big move up. And then it gave up all the gains and then some. Gave up the gains within, looks like a week. And then it kept going down. Big move down. And now we have a couple big moves up. Yeah, maybe it gives up these gains too. Why don't we make a trade? I'm going to go out to December. Let's see what we got. Spread's not the greatest. I mean, did they say anything? They still have a lot of shares to dump on the market, so I don't know. Let's see. How much you get paid for selling call spreads? You know, I don't like those spreads. You go to December, buy some put spreads. What does it tend to do? It was trading at 27 to, we'll call it like, I guess 31, 32, and then it had some sporadic movement. Huh. Yeah, these spreads, they're not the best. Yeah, I don't know if I'd buy spreads on this. I don't know if I'd trade this at all, to be honest. Yeah, I don't like the spreads. What else we got? What is SG? Sweet Green? Is that a weed stock? What is Sweet Green? Sweet Green operates fast food restaurants serving healthy foods at scale in the U.S. Okay, is that it? That's that's the entire description. If there's one thing I know about healthy food stocks is that they're overvalued. Huh. So they didn't even have earnings. What did happen? Did anything happen? So we just have big movers and no real reason? I mean, that's not terribly surprising. What else we got? I'm tired of these bad spreads. What is this? Oscar Health. That sounds familiar. I don't see a reason for movement. No. Yeah, just decided to move a lot. How are the spreads? The spreads are terrible. All right. What else we got? NBIS. Nebius? MicroStrategy. Oh, man. What is that now? Holy crow. It's at, it hit a peak of 449. Now it's at 445, 446. Man, look at that chart. I wonder if that guy's still hedging. Lemonade. What happened to Lemonade? Man, we got a lot of stocks just trading 10, 15% higher. No real reason. Man, look at Lemonade. I had no idea this thing was moving like this. Okay, I kind of want to short Lemonade. What happened? Why? Does anyone use Lemonade? The insurance company, that is. This is a company I want to short. I think I just want... Let me see. What am I going to do here? I'm going to do something degenerate. And look at these. Terribly priced. We're at 34 this morning. Yeah, I kind of want to short this. Let's see. What about the weeklies? Man, look at these god-awful spreads. Let's see what we got. A little bit of gamble. What's the payout there? 45 to 155. All right, I'll take this trade. Let's see if it'll fill me. All right. Decent fill, I guess. All right, I'm long the weekly 37 weekly 37 puts. I'm short the weekly 35 puts on Lemonade. Ticker's LMND. Let's see what happens. Sweet green is the kava for salads. Oh, man. So it's overvalued crap. Are people still shorting MicroStrategy? Man, I don't know. This is hot fire. Look at these moves. What's Bitcoin doing now? Is it Bitcoin or is it just madness? No, Bitcoin's moving down a little bit. Yeah, I don't think this is sustainable. I mean, I put my money on the table, so. What else we got? Oh, Joby. That's right. Mentioned Joby. Joby's still up 11.5%. Man, how much of these moves are just, I don't know, what is it, short seller covering or? If so many stocks just up 10 to 50% on little news or no news. Huh. IonQ, I opened up some put spreads on them. Yeah, this thing has been a rocket ship because they now have a partnership with someone. They're working with NVIDIA. Wasn't that already announced? Yeah, I don't know. But these guys are still pre-revenue. Good luck to them. How's HIMS doing? HIMS is up 11.5%. Yeah, I think we just got some random upward movement on a bunch of... Frankly, a lot of these stocks they needed donations from the markets. Grab, what is it, the Singaporean DoorDash? Oh, yeah. A lot of these charts look really similar. What is ATEC? I don't even know. AlphaTech? Yeah, it looks like the other charts. APLS, Apellis Pharmaceuticals. They're going to host a fireside chat at the Jefferies London Healthcare Conference. I guess that's why they're up 12%, just because they're going to talk. All right. AI's got a partnership with Microsoft. I looked at the valuation earlier, and it's still terribly overvalued. So I hope Microsoft can save them. What happened to that company? Was it GSAT? They got a partnership with Apple. They finally moved up a bit. But I think since they announced that partnership, weren't they at like $2 a share or something? And then they just went back down to $1. Finally, after this massive random squeeze, they're back up to $1.75. So that's what a partnership with a mega cap stock gets you. So we'll see how AI does. Archer Aviation is probably up in sympathy with Joby. So you can fly a Joby in the flight simulator game. Can you fly an Archer? What do they call them? Well, I know they're like, what, VTOLs, right? eVTOLs, whatever. I don't know the brand names. Is this fully dotarded by the target 180 calls for December, still to 175s for next week? I think already I would not want to do that. Oh, you're probably not getting paid anything for next week. Let's see. Sell the 175s. The spreads are god awful. Just looking at the spreads, I don't like it. And then the idea of selling the weekly next week, buying the monthly 5 strikes out. Not a fan. Not a fan. Plus it's Target. Let's see. They have earnings. Yeah, I'm not feeling it. Because the long call's going to get IV crushed. Target's going to have a massive move. But then if it does, if you're doing a 1-to-1 and it's not a ratio, I think you still lose money, right? So let's see. You sell the 175s and then you buy the December 180s, right? The spreads are awful. And the stock needs to move to 175 and I guess stay there to the end of next week. So after earnings. Earnings are tonight, is that right? Oh, they're tomorrow morning. I don't really like this trade, to be honest. I mean, let's say, okay, let's fast forward. Let's see. Let's see, you got max risk of 495 about. Should be like 493, something like that. Yeah, I'm not a fan. If anything, yeah, I'm just not a fan. The spreads are one thing. Yeah, not a big fan. Will Bitcoin hit 100K in 2024? Polymarket says 18% chance. Let's see. Actually, let's look at the earnings. So what do we got? We have tonight. Oh, we don't got anything tonight. I don't know who these companies are. Oh, Lazy Boy. That's the only one I recognize. What is it? LZB? Man, I'm surprised they're still doing anything. Oh, they don't even have. Oh, look at that. That's just sad. We got Neo tomorrow morning. Neo should post good results. Probably wouldn't trade their earnings, but let's see. I kind of like Neo. Let's do something like this. So $27 profit. About $50 max profit, $24 of risk. Bullish trade. It's going to cost 24 cents. $24. What if I did the 4-5, sold the 5? Neil's been doing well, right? Business-wise. Yeah, I don't think I'm feeling it. Target, the spreads are terrible. Zims tomorrow. Oh, what are they going to say? I'm pretty sure companies are front-loading, trying to get ahead of really high tariffs. So they might report a good, or, well, I don't know about, I guess last quarter probably won't reflect fear of tariffs, but they'll probably give decent guidance. After that, assuming tariffs are actually imposed, I don't know if everything's looking too great for the shipping stocks, especially a company like Zim. It's sort of a leveraged shipping stock, the way their business works. And the spreads are terrible. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, man. 67 cents to $3.85 for the strike 27.5s. The monthlies. Yeah, no thanks. TJ Maxx, Wix. What is that? Oicom. What the heck? Is that Doicom or Dicom? Dicom. DY. Dicom Industries. Oh, that looks fun. Yeah, figures they barely have any expirations. Williams Sonoma. I forgot they existed. And Nvidia's after the close. I think all anyone really cares about is Nvidia. Neobiorite. Let's see what that looks like. Let's do probably do 4-5 call. Yeah, we'll do next week. And then, let's see, how much did that pay? $29. Ugh. Yeah, I'm not a fan. I don't really like buy rights these days. Moves are so great through earnings. Yeah, I don't think I would trade earnings on any of these stocks. Nvidia, maybe. Short Zim. Yeah, I don't think I would go big balls and short Zim directly. Do they still pay a dividend? That dividend yields off. I don't know what dividend they're paying now. I know it's variable. How's Nvidia looking? I did sell some volatility on SPY. Let's see. All for tomorrow. Oh, things are slowing down here. Oh, that's today. Okay.
Only here because I thought you'd get tired of talking to yourself.
Ah, hello, Roz.
Hello, sir.
Nonsense. You came up because you want to talk.
Not at all. That's it. I got nothing to contribute.
Oh, well, I'm glad you're up here.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, it's market close. Let's see. Man, those options expiring tomorrow are pretty juicy. Let's see. What do we got on the table here? Let's see. Let's look at the markets. S&P closed up 0.37%. NASDAQ up 0.7%. Dow down 0.3%. The Russell up 0.75%. VIX futures are up 5%, 5.3%. Treasuries all ended up. Long-term did well. Crude is up 0.27%. Gold's up 0.86%. Bitcoin ended 1.1% higher. What did MicroStrategy end at? A little bit of a pullback. Look at that. Is the party over? What about Coinbase? DJT, how about Donald J. Trump stock? That was down 8.88%. Evil hedgies. What about the crap company that they're trying to buy? They're down today. Yeah, so they announced that, there's a rumor that DJT is looking to buy Bakkt Holdings, but there was no buy price confirmed. And in the meantime, the stock went up. Initially, it was up something like 220% after hours yesterday. And how much of a premium do markets think they were going to pay? Because typically, you pay, I don't know, like, if you really want the company, you pay like 50 to, 70% premium.
I don't understand a lot of those things that happen.
Yeah, that was just strange. So I did take a good amount of risk shorting it last night after hours. I think I shorted it at like 36, what was it, like 61, something like that. And I closed it earlier. I think it was like 31.60, something like that. I was going to wait for the options to open up, but that's not going to happen for however long, so it's too much risk, so I just closed it out.
Well, yeah, what was the percentage gain you got?
I'll do the math for you. It was about 12.5%.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I missed some of the numbers.
You're good. It was about 12.5%, so not bad for an overnight trade.
No. There's nothing wrong with 12% at all. I hear simple in my mind. Again, how much do you want? 12% is 12%.
It's true. Win is a win. All right. What's reporting right now? Oh, wait. It's a bunch of no-name stocks. Well, I guess on that note, I'm going to end the YouTube stream.
Oh, you have it going right now?
Yeah, buddy. All right. So, goodbye, YouTube world. I don't think you have any reason to stay on now. So, yeah. We'll do another Power Hour talk or just, Friday